Oh no. Hello, everybody is rolling in. Sorry, it's
Happy
so quiet.
Thursday.
It's Thursday.
We
It
didn't
feels like
get,
Friday though. It's
I know.
crazy.
It
It is.
does. It's been a crazy week for all of us here at Travefy because
Yeah,
we've had our all team strategy meetings where we get to do lots of fun planning and stuff, but it makes for a very weird week.
totally.
And full disclosure, Stephanie, myself, and all other Travefy team members did not go to bed last night at an appropriate bedtime,
No.
even for grown-ups and adults. We stayed out way too late, enjoying the team camaraderie and stuff. So that is why the
I
bags
know.
and puffy eyes.
I know. I was like, I'm actually glad that we have this webinar because it'll keep me like juiced. Like I'll be
Yep.
like, oh, energy, how great. Well,
Yes.
it was funny too because Scott, what were you saying yesterday? We were out last night and Scott's like, if I gotta go in for you, I guess I can do it. And I'm like, I'll do it. I'm gonna be good. Like,
Stephanie was
no
rocking
why.
and rolling last night. She was
It's a good
ready to
time.
party. So,
When you get the Travefy team together, it's awesome. But this is so exciting.
yeah.
I was telling Scott though, this webinar is so awesome. I can't believe it took this long for us to do a webinar like this. This is so cool. And I'm really excited. And hello, everybody. I can see everyone coming in from when is Steph not ready to party?
Chaplin,
Correct.
Saskatchewan. Hello, Sherry.
Oh, yeah. Where's
And
everyone coming from?
Louisa from Brazil.
I saw Chicago. Yes. Oh, Las Vegas. We just came from there. We were there. Was it already 2 weeks ago now? So I'm sure some of you who are on here, we saw you at Agent Accelerator. So that was fun.
If you were at Agent Accelerator in Las Vegas last week, just type AA in the chat.
I know. Yeah. Let's see. Agent Accelerator rocks.
There's Carla and Rick and Gabriella,
Ashley,
Laura.
Elva. So exciting. That was so much fun.
Awesome.
There's so many.
Oh yeah, many.
So cool.
That's super exciting.
Council Bluffs. I'm not too far from you. Well, Scott's even closer. Scott's really close.
Deborah, I'm literally across the river.
Yes.
So right there, she will know what this means. The Durham Museum, 10th Street is right there. So hello.
It's right there. That is awesome. Oh, it's so good. And thank you everyone for joining us again. It's seriously always so much fun. And doing a webinar like this. Really quick though, if our faces are new to you, I am Stephanie Grice, education manager and marketing coordinator. And guess what? This is an old photo, but we just had photos done yesterday and updates will be happening.
Yes, so
Exciting.
I will no longer look like a 29-year-old guy in my photos. I've had my wife and I have had many children and many sleepless nights since that photo was taken. I know I have many more wrinkles and far less hair than that photo has. So,
You've lived
yes,
since this
I've
photo.
lived some life.
That's awesome. And this is Scott Routs, by the way, my good old pal, my wingman.
Hello, that's me.
Oh, it's so exciting. I always love it's always fun doing these webinars with Scott. It's great. And Scott's VP of Sales and Marketing. So when we talk about marketing, I'm like, Scott, we need you. We're going to need you in here talking about all your expertise, all the good stuff. So it's really cool.
I will do what I can to give some good tidbits of marketing and sales wisdom, if that's helpful.
Oh, yeah. So. It's going to be good. So here's what we got here today for you, ladies and gentlemen, is we are going to talk about 10 ideas and tips to use to market trips. Now, what's really cool about this webinar, this is why, seriously, I'm really excited for this webinar. I can't believe it took us this long to do anything like this because these tips are just spread out where you can use these for anything. If you're doing like a group-led trip or tour, if you're doing, a special promotion or a package that you want to promote, or just honestly highlighting a specific destination, or an itinerary, a cruise, literally whatever it is, all these tips can work for you that we're going to go through. So it's really awesome. And we may or may not have a little bonus for you at the end that you can actually take with you and use further on. So it's going to be really awesome. I do want to mention though, that if this is your first time joining us this is Travefy Academy specifically. So in this webinar, we are going to we don't focus on Travefy as a product, but just note, there will be a couple tips in here where you can definitely utilize Travefy. Don't worry. But a lot of these, though, are just pure education. And so that's what these types of webinars are for, is just pure educational content. And if you go to academy.travefy.com, you can find all of the other webinars we've done. There's a lot of other webinars and podcast episodes content that will actually go off of a lot of the stuff we're talking about. So check that out in there. But what's just really cool about this is we get to see and hear so many different things that travel advisors have done and found success in. And so that's why we're sharing this with you. So we get an inside peek at just so many different cool ideas. And so we're like, let's package this up in a webinar and share it with everybody. So that's what we're going to do here today. So really awesome.
When we were starting to like outline this webinar, we had the point in the conversation of like, why in the world haven't we done this before? This is fun. This is awesome.
I know, it's so great. And honestly, and we need to do like a bonus because we had to whittle down some things because we're like, this might be too much content. So there's so much. And Aline asked you the website. So that's academy.travefy.com. That's where you can find all that stuff. And also I want to mention, this is all being recorded. So this will get up on YouTube. So we'll put this on our YouTube channel afterwards, but you'll also see it if you go to academy.travefy.com. You'll see it up there too. And then we're going to be talking about a lot of things with a lot of examples and maybe a free download. And all of that's going to be on academy.travefy.com as well. And we'll share it in the chat here too. But if you do have questions, we should have time for Q&A. Scott's also going to help, manage that as well if he can get to them. But feel free, use the Q&A chat or that panel or the chat. And then hopefully we can spend some time at the end answering some of those questions for you all. So, all right. What do you think, Scott? Shall we?
You're feeling good? You're back in your natural habitat where it all began in the Lincoln office there.
Yes, I love being in our official studio. And yes, this background's real. It's like a real globe. A lot of times people are like, is that fake? But it is.
Prove it.
It's so great.
Spin the globe.
Let
Prove
me spin
it.
Do you see it?
It's real. It's real.
What?
It's not a virtual background.
It's so awesome. Yeah, I love it. It's so cozy in here. I love this little area. Makes for a perfect little webinar like this. But okay, so here we go. Okay, again, there's going to be like 10 of them here. So you'll see. So we're going to start off with number one. Number one tip is collaborating with your suppliers. Now, there's many ways you can do this. And just to name a few, you can always ask your supplier. I know probably many of you might already do this, but you also might not be utilizing them to their fullest potential. But they have so many marketing assets that they can help and supply you with. So feel free, always ask them, be like, do you have anything? Because, photos or content, videos, a lot of times they spend so much money creating video content and things that they would love it if you shared it. So that's really cool. Another really awesome way to do this, and Scott, I'll let you talk about this, is getting a video greeting from the actual supplier tour guide, like if it's a tour, things like that. Because there was a real life example of this that you can see, that you've seen before.
Yeah, and this popped up. I thought this was a really clever way. We originally saw this instance through Cuvée. And so they do high-end luxury travel. And so they worked with some of their partners and representatives that were around the globe during COVID to offer kind of video updates and things like that. But that point still stands. Positioning yourself as an expert and the connections that you can offer, the experiences you can offer are offered through your connections out there in destinations. So be sure when you are traveling, when you're doing fam trips, that you're getting contact info of the different tour operators, suppliers, on the ground guides and partners that you'll be working with, so that you can reach out to them and ask them, hey, would you do a quick video about this trip or about this package I'm putting together, and have them send it to you. I think you'd be surprised what they can do, and especially with so many amazing destinations and amazing cultures out there, even just a brief 1-2 minute quick video that might seem mundane to them will be a really fun video for you to share with your audience.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, so awesome. Another one too is that I didn't mention was offering, if you can ask them about any special promotions or incentives, that you can offer for a limited time or something for you to really help promote a trip or a specific thing. So really cool. Oh, actually, Dory just said one of her BDM at CIE Tours made a custom video for their group tour. So that's really cool.
Awesome.
See, yeah, really, really awesome. So definitely work with your suppliers and just might as well ask, doesn't hurt to ask, and they would probably love it. So that's tip number one, to just kick us off. As you can see, I hope the wheels are spinning now in your head. You're like, oh yeah. So here we go. This is tip two. Now this one could be like, it's a little like branch off webinar, but really I wanted to put this as tip number two because it's really important. Social media is typically a go-to, obviously for marketing, and it's good to make sure you're always putting your best foot forward. And there's many different best practices for social media. One, this is a really important one, is posting different types of content. So a lot of times it's really easy, you might create like a graphic on Canva or something, and then you just continuously share that out. But it's really important to change up that and post different types of posts, and at least a minimum of 3 to 5, different posts as well, which is just really important. And just think it out, schedule it out, and think about the different ways that you can put that in there.
Yeah, and one of the key things when if you're not familiar with, you don't feel super savvy when it comes to social media, I'll put it that way. That's okay. One of the things that I see happen a lot is that an agent will produce a piece of content, a promotional graphic for their trip or something like that, and then they will just beat that thing to death for the next 6 months using the same exact graphic time and time and time and time again, which I don't want you to feel guilty if you've done that. That's okay. But what I would recommend is exactly what Stephanie mentioned, of create 3 to 5 different variations in that. Now, especially if you use a service like a Canva, Canva, we can post the link in there, Canva. You can get in there and create a lot of different alternate versions of the same graphic very, very quickly, and it's very easy to do. Then you now have 3 to 5 different versions or variations that you can swap in and out and share over time. You can freshen them up, change them over time, so that you can continue to promote the same trip or same package without having to reuse the same content, and it gets stale over time. So that's why it's worth the extra effort to create a few of those different variations early on in the process to be able to share out that way.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually guilty of it too. I've totally done that before with Travefy, because it does take a little time sometimes to make graphics. You're like, I just want to keep sharing it, but it is really important to keep changing it out and all that. So really good. And here's one very easy one. It's if you don't want to spend forever just creating a bunch of graphics. Did you know if you create a trip in Travefy, just like a normal itinerary, you can actually share the link. It looks just like this screenshot here. You can share the link, and if you put it like this is on like Facebook, it actually puts a picture, and it makes the link pretty. It's not just like a link and boring. It's actually really nice. So that's an easy piece of content right there that you can do as well if you do create something. Or heck, if you're familiar with Travefy, you could put like a city guide in and build an itinerary. Just create a city guide, put that in it, and that's it. Like really, I've seen that done too. That's so easy to do.
Yep.
So
No,
really
awesome.
cool.
And a good question here from, or I don't know, Veronica, if you were asking this or just mentioning, this is a question that you ask yourself, but she raised a good point of, should I post this on my business page or my personal page? Well, a couple good tips. And then Stephanie, I'm curious if you have ideas on this. Firstly, if you don't know this, generally speaking, your personal post will be broadcast, distributed. The algorithm will work much better for you by posting personally versus your business page, unless someone has already engaged multiple ways with your business page and post from your business page. Facebook, specifically Facebook in this context, I'm thinking that's what you're mentioning, will not promote that post as much as your personal post. So an easy thing to do is post something out on your business page and then share that from your personal account out that way. So then you're doing both, you're sharing both, but you're always driving people back to your business page. And then the algorithm starts to learn that. And if you haven't seen this, if when you click on an ad or tap on an ad from Instagram or Facebook, all of a sudden you start seeing a lot from that same business over the next several weeks because the algorithm's trying to optimize that for the audience. And so that's what I would recommend. Share that post out with your business page initially, and then share that business post page out from your personal account.
I was going to say the same thing. That cross posting is, you might as well, it's perfect. That's exactly what I would have suggested as well. And so really awesome. And another thing too, so someone had asked, is there a tutorial on how to share a link? So really all you do is you just take the link. You can ask our client champion team if you want to contact our support, like live chat in your account, or just email us at professional@travefy.com, and we can send a screenshot of what you need to do if that's helpful. But really, you're just taking the link that you would share with like a client, and you're just copying and pasting that in your like a Facebook post, and this will automatically generate. So it automatically generates for you. So it's simple, really simple to do, which is awesome. Another thing, speaking of links here, and I saw a question on this. So I put this in here, include a link tree. It's a very weird, but that's literally the URL for it is like linktr period EE. But that's really important, because if you're familiar with Instagram and TikTok, there's probably others I haven't thought of, but for sure Instagram and TikTok, you can't actually put links in your posts. So when you share a trip and you're like, go here for more information, that link actually is not clickable in a post. So that's why you're able to put a link in your bio, but a lot of times you have so many links. So if you use Linktree, so if you go to Travefy's Instagram, we have one in there. And so that's exactly what you'll see. And then you can always update, and it's free. You can use it for free. And then that way you can always update new links and have like 10 links available in there. So it's just a really great thing to remember that those links aren't going to be clickable. So make it easy.
Here's a question for you, Stephanie.
All right.
Instead of using Linktree, could I just create a page on my Travefy website that serves as my Linktree?
Yes, you can. That's actually a really good idea. And we're going to get into that, Scott. We are for sure going to talk about that.
I like it. I like where
that.
this is headed.
That is good. That's a great, my mind is kind of blown because I really didn't think about that. Now it makes so much sense. We'll show you that. Okay. So we'll show you that on there. But I think those are all the things. Oh, I know another thing I want to mention. There's so many tips.
There's so much. There's so much.
One more on social media here is also consider, we already talked about this with like the different posts and stuff, but consider planning it out and making it like a launch, like build up anticipation. So maybe like a day or a couple days or a week before you're going to share, like promote a trip, be like, there's something coming, like just, and that's a post right there. And so don't forget to build up anticipation, like add that in as your strategy, which is really cool.
Teaser.
The old teaser. Exactly.
So a few years ago, Travefy did this when we launched our website builder. I think it was the Friday before. I believe it was the Friday before we released it. We sent out a marketing email to our entire marketing list that just said something big is coming, and we did something kind of special with the graphics, so it kind of hinted at it. If you really looked closely, you could see it was hinting at a website page in there. But we didn't say what it was. And so we just said, watch your inbox on Monday for a really exciting announcement. And so that was a great way. And we actually got a really great response from that because people were intrigued. They wanted to know what it was. And so we actually saw a better response on Monday when we sent out the big announcement because of that teaser that way.
We love a teaser. We love it. It's so awesome. So yes, those are some ideas just to put in there. There's so many ideas for that. You can do a lot with that. But okay, I'm going to move to the next one, because the next one, this can also apply to what we are just now talking about is, let me go to the adding video. If you've ever been on our webinars before, we always highlight this because it's so huge. You're bringing things to life. Video is huge. And it really, I think it's just the world we're living in now. People really are enjoying videos because the social media platforms just kind of really push them. They push them more, Instagram Reels and Facebook, and they actually perform very, very well. So there's many different ways you can do this in adding video. So first, we always like to say, it's so easy just to record your own video. I mean, you can get on your phone or do Zoom, Loom, all those ones. So you can do a lot of things with that. It could be like 10 seconds where you're just explaining something, or maybe you're actually like walking through or sharing things. There's just so many ways you can do that. But then there's also the other side that if you're like, I don't really want to show my face, that's okay. You can also add video, like creating animated posts. I mean, simple things like that. Use an app like Canva. There's a lot out there that you can really easily do. And it's just really cool. And then one other thing here is also creating personalized videos. So think about also, because I saw someone mention like they have a Facebook group. Feel free to create custom videos for certain, groups or a certain client or traveler. Just do stuff like that. Just adding that is going to be really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. A really cool and fun idea would be if a lot of your clients are on Facebook, is to do a Facebook Live to announce a
Mhm.
group cruise or a package or a promotion that you're launching in the near future. So that, I mean, who's going to be the best salesperson to really present that package or that promotion to them, but you? So that would be a really exciting way to do that. The other reason to do that is Facebook, the algorithm, as well as other platforms, like video. So that video will last out there longer. It'll have a longer half-life and get more impressions, more views, and things like that, just by doing it via video versus a plain text post.
Mhm. That's a good point that, yeah, it really is. They perform so well that they like that. The platforms enjoy the videos, just like your clients and future travelers will. So really awesome there. So add video. Always think about that. Like, where can I apply video? Okay. So tip number 4, I love this one. So giving uh customers content that they can share, just to humble brag. There's many different routes to go. Let me explain. So really, you can do this so many ways. There's offering clients special content they can share. This is a big one. Scott, you've seen this done, I'm pretty sure, is where people, they might give them they'll send their Travefy itinerary to the person, but then maybe they'll copy that trip, make a version that their clients actually can share. So then that way, if I'm going on this cruise or a trip, I can share it with my own, just like on my Facebook, and be like, we're so excited for this vacation. It doesn't have personal things, it's nothing creepy, but it's just like to humble brag.
Yeah. Yeah, a
Sweet.
lot of different ways that this can be done, whether you are doing it, as Stephanie mentioned, or whether you're trying to elicit a response from your clients through like surprise and delight, that type of thing. So on the first end of it, I was actually chatting with an agent a while back, and I've shared this story a few times, that he had the most absurdly simple marketing strategy. Let's imagine he sold a 7-day cruise on, I'm just making it up, Norwegian, 7-day Caribbean cruise on Norwegian. He would build that itinerary and put all the information together and send that off to the client. And then once that proposal was approved or the trip was approved and confirmed with the client, he would then copy that itinerary, create a new version, remove out all the client specific details, any of the personal information or date specific things, and then just literally take the link, the web link to the itinerary, plop it on Facebook and share it out and say, I'm so excited, just sold this trip to some wonderful clients that I love working with. I'm so excited for them to go on this journey. And he said, what's crazy is I would post that in the morning, and later that day, I start getting inquiries from other people on Facebook for that same exact trip. I was like, that's brilliant, because you already have the sunk cost of taking the time to build the itinerary, do all the research for the clients. You might as well try to squeeze some more value out of that by just sharing that trip out there and marketing it that way, because now you're also establishing credibility. So if you're a newer agent, that's also really valuable, so that you can, without having to say, I know what I'm doing, you can prove and show that other clients are working with you, and you can offer your services and expertise to them as well. But then also on that latter part of giving your clients something to brag about, we actually have seen and talked with agencies that they actually build into their planning fee the cost of being able to give their client a gift so that they want to post on social media for it. So a few different starter ideas for this. I've chatted with agents that in their planning fee, they either use most or all of the planning fee, basically to then give that back to the client through an amazing bottle of wine or champagne when they check in to the resort, or to book an experience for the client, so that they just want to rave. They think it's the most amazing thing their advisor could have done for them. Or some will actually set it up and purchase a gift, like you can see a couple ideas on screen there, where that comes to the client beforehand, and then they have a really great way to get that client very, very excited and engaged in the trip. But then also that they'll have a hashtag on there to, hint and remind them they should post this on social media and brag about it and stuff. So there are a lot of different ways that you can do it. Those are just a couple thought starters of how you can start to do that and get get more mileage out of what you're already doing.
Yeah, 100%. And this is really cool. I'm sure many of you are familiar in Erica Carr with Book It Box Travel. This is an example. She builds this into her plan of, and I've seen other agents do this too, where they'll kind of package up this like just fun gift and it's before, it's just a pre thing. And it just gets them really excited. Really cool stuff. Something that I thought about though, too, is setting up, this is kind of random, but setting up a pre-experience. So there's actually this company called Travel Virtually. And I got to talk to them, and they're going to be on our podcast here coming up soon. So stay tuned. But
Plug.
yeah, plug right there. But what's really cool is they set up virtual travel experiences. And so it got me thinking, I'm like, wait a second, what if you set up this experience that's happening like before they go on their trip, like a short little wine and cheese tasting or something. And it's just so cool. Just really thinking out of the box, honestly. And so there's a lot of things you can do there.
Definitely.
So really awesome. Fun one. I love this one. Okay, so now tip 5, we are halfway through here, is hosting a live event or meetup. Got to throw this one in there because this is really big. During the live, there was a lot of virtual. I think a lot of people took advantage of the virtual stuff, like getting their foot in the door the past couple years because of that one thing that happened, but there's also so many live events that I'm seeing because people are like, yes, this is so exciting. I'm traveling. I can't wait. So set those up, whether it is live or virtual, I mean, obviously virtual's free, it's easy, but also live ones can be very simple as well. And you can do those Facebook Live or the Zooms, and you can do different things like invite the tour guide or the supplier to come and speak. That kind of goes back to the first tip that we talked about, bringing the supplier in. You can also incentivize it, offering a booking credit, or maybe there's a giveaway prize. There's a lot of different things you can do with these.
Yeah, a lot of different things you can do with them. Don't underestimate the power of doing a live gathering of some sort. Leverage your local networks. So the circle of friends that you already have and their circles of friends, those other social networks and things like that. And I mean like actual, like real social networks, not Facebook or Instagram,
Oh, yeah.
those types of things. Actual circles and networks of friends. But reach out to local restaurants, wine and spirit stores, things like that. Many times they will give you rooms for free if you are bringing people there. You'd actually be surprised how many places will give you a room for free to host that event if you bring some people there. You might have to have some type of minimum spend within there, but talk to them about that, especially on certain nights of the week. They'll give it to you for free. If it's a Tuesday, slow at restaurants usually, so they'll give it to you for free. But then also, as Stephanie hinted and pointed out, if you're working on a specific trip with a specific supplier, chat with your BDM to see, do they have any marketing dollars that they could put towards hosting an event where maybe that BDM wants to come in and join that event and really try to make it a success with you. Maybe the BDM, depending on the type of trip it is and the ticket price and the block, maybe it's a group, maybe they're willing to chip in some money towards appetizers or drinks or something like that for the event. Talk to your BDM. You never know what's possible. They might be really wanting to build and invest in building some business with you, especially if you have some proven track record to really follow through and hit the ground running with sales.
Mm-hmm. Lots of fun things. That's a good point too. Like during the week, especially, that they'd be like, yes, please come in. That'd be great.
Yeah. My wife actually has been helping schedule PTA get-togethers of parents with our elementary school, and all of the restaurants and places she worked with would give the room for free on Monday or Tuesday night because they want to get people there. Those are slow nights. And so it ended up working really well in that case.
Yeah, it's many win-win right there. Yep. And actually, so kind of going off of this one, this is another really important thing. It's a little similar, but still deserved its own tip and slide. Is number 6 is partnering locally. So you could merge these together, and there's so many possibilities with this. It's crazy. So sharing your passion, travel, in the community, and for real, so many ways you can do this. There's connecting with the local chamber, the social networks, the real one, the in-person people, but clubs, churches, schools, sports, there's so many things. But this is also a really good idea. Scott threw this one in, was finding a local influencer, such as maybe a radio show host or the local TV. I see those, where the local TV news, they'll go on a cruise and you get to meet the weather person. Really fun.
Or you could meet a local wine expert.
Yes.
Like Miss Stephanie herself.
Yeah, I'm really not. We actually do have a sommelier, Will, at Travefy. So if you've ever talked to Will, he's the real wine expert, and he's been teaching me as much as he possibly can. So then one day I will be. But you could get the sommelier or the entrepreneur. Think about that too, like notable chefs, and build those trips and get them in. And I know Scott has a fun story to this, like an actual story that was local, right?
Yeah. Some great friends of ours here in Omaha just opened a wine and spirit store. If you're familiar with Omaha, West Omaha, and out in Elkhorn, they opened a wine and spirit store. And my buddy Jimmy is literally a veteran from the beverage industry. Has worked for a lot of the major companies and stuff. And he opened this retail store, and he wants to put together a trip to Munich. Literally just for fun. He's not necessarily like looking to make a huge business venture out of it. He just wants to do something so that he can get some of his patrons from the restaurant and other friends together. And he's got a brick and mortar location to help promote and market that. And so he reached out to me like, hey, can you connect me with some tour operators or travel advisors that specialize in this? And so this is a great example of start building some relationships and talk to some of those local businesses that would have alignment with you in wanting to offer a bigger and deeper experience with their customers. It is absolutely a win-win, because then they can offer something to their customers that is unique and different from any other retailers out there. So like in this case, there aren't a lot of other wine and spirit stores in Omaha that are planning a trip to Munich for Oktoberfest. So those are some of the types of things, whether it be a local chamber of commerce, a local wine and spirits store, an athletics club that you're going to, one of the more prominent like tournaments nationally or internationally, things like that. There are a lot of different ways that you can tackle this. And so just start thinking about those different organizations and what types of natural affinities they have for destinations and interest areas.
Yeah. And you know what? I just thought of another like example of just an idea. So I've been getting into pickleball. It's like the fastest growing sport right now. And I'm in a Facebook group for my city that's in there, but there's a cruise, and I can't think of which one. I'm sure someone's going to know it. But there's a cruise that just came out that they're going to have pickleball courts. So you know what you could do? You could just literally like start sharing in the Facebook group or with the pickleball groups, leagues, and start promoting that cruise. I mean, that's so easy. I'm a Waterways. Thank you, everybody. I'm a Magna. I knew it was coming in. I got to sign up for that cruise. Yeah. Well, that's so cool.
It looks like there are several that are doing pickleball at
there
sea.
Is. Yeah. Holland is the official pickleball company. There are many. That is, see, amazing. Look at that. That's just one small sliver of an idea. So awesome. So there's a lot of things. Oh, there's more. Amadeus. Oh, so many. I guess I'm going to have to get on a cruise here soon. But yeah, so this idea, so many ideas that can come out of this one. But okay, so I've got tip number 7. Now this is the one that's going to get legit. I got lots of links for you coming on this one. Did you know you can use Travefy to create a landing page and lead generation form? This is probably one of the coolest ones yet. So yeah, Elena, okay, I need to know about this. So yes, so in Travefy, we have a website builder. So in that website builder, you can create multiple pages, like if a website has multiple pages. So with that, you can actually use those as standalone pages. So when we say landing page, we mean a standalone page to market one thing. And because of that, you can start marketing one trip, one destination, one, like, so many. Let me just get into some examples here. And first of all, you can create an unlimited amount of them as well. And you can also import itineraries and then those forms that you build on Travefy as well to collect information for people who's interested in joining. Let me show some examples here. So the first one is, and I'm going to share these links in here, is a destination wedding invite. So if you do destination weddings or group trips, or you have like a family reunion, something like that, you can create a page that's just for this group. And you can see this is a fake one that I've created. So it's not really Sarah and Dave right here. It's a stock photo, but it's so simple. Look at how simple this is. And I made this in Travefy. So in Travefy, if you're not familiar with the website builder, how it actually works, it's dead simple. That's what we say, because it really is. And it's just drag and drop these little elements. So then you can put in photos and text, the trip. So the itinerary that you build in Travefy, you can put it right in there. And then of course, like I have this little personal message, and then right here, reserve your room. And I accidentally deleted that form. So that's why that's happening. I have another example that has the form. But you can put the form.
Did that live in front of everyone.
Brutal. That's embarrassing. Oh man, just pretend you didn't see that, everybody. I'll move on to the next one because this one will work here. So funny. So this example is a summer in Yellowstone. So again, think about, what do you want to sell and target? So I'm just thinking, all right, summer in Yellowstone, start planning right now. So this is very specific. Like, this isn't even just like build a trip to the national parks. This is literally just for Yellowstone. So you can really get specific with this, but I have just like some photos. And again, this did not take long to create. I threw in like one of the accommodations that I would typically book with someone, talk about some activities, sample itinerary. And I have to give a shout out on this, Carla Fritz, if you were on this webinar. Thank you for sharing this. So everybody on here, you can actually save this copy. I asked her for an example of an itinerary, and I was like, I will build a landing page around it just to show everybody how that is possible. But you can actually save this copy into your account, which is really cool. But in here, you can see, so there's that itinerary. Now here's where the form will work, everybody. Boom, here it is. So in here, they can just fill out this form, all that good stuff, very easily in here. Now someone did just ask, they said, how did she get her info at the top? Well, your info, when you create a trip in Travefy, it's automatically in here. So it automatically brands every trip that you share, which it's so easy. It's so simple. But yeah, I wanted to create a brand new one though, just to show like, here's how you would do this.
Yeah.
Sorry. Do you have something, Scott?
Oh, I saw a question I was going to answer, but why don't you keep rolling and then I can answer the question.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Cause I got a couple here. Cause I really want to give multiple examples, because this one is also like exploring those. So this is also destination driven. So I used this one other time on a webinar. So I just want to share it, but you can see here again, there's a call to action at the bottom, but look at how simple this is. It's nothing crazy. It's just some photos, some information, and then really getting them excited. This one is a river cruise. So this is also a really fun one that, again, those river cruises, here you go for that pickleball one, is putting this in there very easily. Travefy actually does have all of the we have all the major ocean river cruise lines where you can actually import an itinerary. So it's nothing hard. You don't have to spend a ton of time building this. It's really, really easy. And yeah, this is again, that just lead generation form. Once they do fill this out, by the way, they will you'll receive an email letting you know that they contacted you, and then you can follow up with them. And then you also can save all their contact information in Travefy's CRM tool that we call Contacts. So that way you can make little notes for yourself and reminders that like, hey, I need to follow up with them, set up a call, whatever it might be. all those kind of things. Now, this is another cruise, but this is a real life one. So this is actually an agent's on here, and they have, all these different, so again, like we talk about this as promoting a trip, but again, you could promote multiple trips at once that they just all have a common goal, because maybe, you want to promote different cruises because they have different schedules. So this is a great way to do that, just check that out. It's so amazing. But those are my examples. So Scott, I'll let you go now.
Yeah. So quick question in here, and this does come up every now and then of, I think it was Rob. Rob, I think you asked, so you set up this landing page, but then how do you integrate this into your marketing, or in this case, email marketing? So with that, what you'll want to do, you'll set up the landing page, definitely make sure your contact information's in there, or you have a lead gen form of some sort. So lead generation or lead capture form. In that case, just like Stephanie created a Travefy form on that landing page so that you can gather inquiries. Feel free to keep it simple of like, hey, I want more information on this package or this group or this promotion, whatever it might be, just so there's not a lot of friction for someone to fill out that form. Once you have that set up, take that landing page link, and in your email marketing, in that case, you'll want to have some type of feature in your email marketing for that specific email, talking about the name of the trip or some headline, quick description, and a button to learn more about that trip. So that button would then go to your landing page, so then people can actually view any of the information there. For that, descriptions, overviews, you could embed a video of yourself, per Stephanie's suggestion earlier of having video.
Love that.
But then that landing page serves as the home base for all of the information and marketing for that trip. That landing page can then also be shared on social media, so that Travefy is set up so it will auto import any of the cover photo, title of the trip, all of that for you in Facebook and other social platforms in there. So you can see a quick preview over on the right side, like what Stephanie's seen there.
Here, let me go into this one here. This one, I know that, see how this is set up this way? So that's how it is. And this is what it looks like. This is what it is inside the builder. One thing we can share, Scott, if you're able to, can you quickly share the link about just like about website, or maybe like our support center, that you can get more information to really see how it's created. But one thing that's really awesome, a little tip here, is you can copy these. So if you create one that you always use as kind of your template for promoting trips or like groups or something, destination weddings, you can copy them. So you don't have to recreate your wheel every single time, which is really great. So that's a cool thing that you can just keep pumping these out. Again, it's unlimited amount of itineraries, unlimited amount of landing pages. And someone did ask, they were like, so is this basically a website? Yeah. So that's really what it is. It's just a website, but it has its own URL. So that way they're not always just going to a website that has all this information. It's just a website link that goes to one specific purpose. It's so cool. I think when I start seeing users do this, it's incredible. It's really, really awesome. So again, and if there's any questions on that, again, reach out to our support team or check out our help center. We have a lot of videos on how we put those all together. So really cool. Okay, so now that we just hopefully blew your mind with that one, we were talking about email marketing. So this is a very easy transition here. Is tip number 8 is harnessing the power of email marketing. Now, email marketing, of course, it can have its own webinar. We do have other webinars that we've had on email marketing, but email marketing is an excellent way to keep people up to date on marketing trips. That's typically what the email marketing plan is when agents are doing that. So it's really great, to start and use these lead generation, these forms and stuff to start building those marketing lists as well. If you're new to it and you haven't started email marketing yet, consider doing that. And, you can do this to send email announcements, onto your list. Of course, don't forget to target emails for segments that would be interested as well, on certain trips. So think about it that way. And you don't have to do, maybe if you send it once or twice a month, but it's a really great way because we talk about, social media all the time, but sometimes social media, like, you're hoping that you're catching them or all the different ways, but an email marketing is a very good, effective way to keep targeting and keeping at the top of the mind. And, somebody might see an email about a trip you're promoting and they're like, oh my gosh, I was just thinking about that. I would love to go on a trip like this. And now they know about it. So just email marketing is just pretty awesome. Anything else to add about email marketing, Scott? I mean, that could be its own webinar, I know, but it's pretty big.
The questions are flowing in, so I'm just answering questions.
Okay, well, he's multitasking on there. And we will have time for questions because I'm almost getting done here. Is the number 9? So I've got number 9 is spend money to make money with paid ads. So I think it's always really important to talk about paid ads because a lot of times I feel like I would personally be like, ooh, I don't know, that's scary because I'm putting money in, but it actually doesn't have to be a lot. You can spend a very little amount on paid ads, just on Facebook. And what I like about paid ads is the fact that you can really target the person you're trying to go after. So that's what's really cool. So if you're using like Facebook, which goes with Instagram, they make it pretty nice for you to really target a specific demographic. So it's pretty cool. And you can do a lot of things with those paid ads too. So you can do like including links to your landing page that you create on Travefy or graphics or videos. But what's really cool is like this example right here is, you can put like multiple photos. It can be really cool. All the different things that you can do. So consider doing that. Maybe just put like $10 and see what happens, and just see what works, see what sticks. So very much worth trying there. Okay, so now I've got my last thing here, and this is going to be the greatest, a free download. So we love these kind of worksheets here to get you thinking. So after you're hearing all of these tips today, we created this download here. Let me put the link in here, and you can print this out. So you can print out as many of these as you need. But if you click on that link, I'll also put that on academy.travefy.com. So you'll see all these links in this free download. But basically, let me walk you through the breakdown of how this would work. So for each trip you want to market, consider doing, first you have your trip, name and description. So thinking and get fun with that. Like, how can you really entice them? Like, is it a fun name type of a thing? But then also it's really important to think about what is that goal? Are you trying to is it a cruise that you're trying to sell 20 rooms? Be very specific what that goal is. Are you trying to make a certain amount of revenue? And then obviously it's always really important to target that audience. So who is the, and I actually need to redo this and put ideal because I said, who is the supposed to be ideal traveler for this trip? Again, oh my gosh, we're falling apart on this. But you get the idea here. But put that in because again, if you're doing something like paid ads or just email marketing, it's really important to target. Let's use that pickleball, for example. You're targeting pickleball players and maybe they're a specific age because it's going to be, maybe you're trying to get retired. So get really specific with who that target audience is and then start coming up with your ideas. What marketing will you do to reach your goals and target audience? What channel are you going to use? Are you using Facebook? Are you going to put, you want to do 6 posts over the course of a month and you're doing like a campaign blitz on trying to market one trip because maybe it has a promotion length. So think about all of that stuff. So I hope that's helpful in there. So using this form or this worksheet for each of your trips in there as well. Okay. That was all I had. Are there any questions that I can help answer, Scott?
There are a few questions.
Nice.
I'll take this first one and feel free to chime in. So I saw several people ask questions around, hey, does Travefy do email marketing or what system should I use? So the quick answer to that is currently no. Travefy does not do email marketing. Now, I also want to clarify what I'm talking about is like broadcast email marketing, where you're creating one marketing email and then sending that out to hundreds or thousands of people all at once. Not, like some CRM send out like the happy birthday email or something like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the big marketing email system. So there are tons of great email marketing softwares out there, many of which are very cost effective. The one that Travefy personally uses is MailChimp, that you can check that out We're not a MailChimp sponsor or anything, just telling you what we use. It's pretty dang easy to use, has a lot of different features and functionality, but I've heard of lots of other great ones like Constant Contact and many, many others. Now, having said that, test them out. A lot of them have free trials and see what works best for you. As well, there are lots of new services that like a landing page service like a Squarespace or others that are, even though that's not their core business, they're getting into doing some of that as well. So you might check into that and see if you can already get access to some of that feature or that functionality that way as well.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And I also saw that some people are having trouble copying the link for this, but I'll have to put it up right after this webinar concludes. But if you go to academy.travefy.com, that actually, it looks just like this. And then I'm going to add it in here. I'm going to add all the links in here because I'll update this and put the recording in here as well. So you'll be able to come in here and get that. So you can always have that access to that. So apologies if you're having trouble. I know Zoom updated some stuff and it makes it kind of tough. So I will pop that in there as well. Oh yeah, Suzanne says I use MailChimp, cheap and easy. Yeah, so there's a lot of options out there, which is really, really great. Let's see here. I'm looking through some questions too. Oh, here's a good one. So Vanessa asks, I already have a domain name. Can I still use Travefy? Yes, you can. So here's what's really cool. So in here, you probably noticed like the travelistas.travel.com. It's my fake little URL that I created, domain masked in here. So in your Travefy account, which I'm actually going to go into really quick, you can actually, it's free to do. You go into your account here. So click an account and then go to your settings. And then you can change, you can put a domain in here. Now you'll notice here that travelistas.travel.com is my domain. So if you already have a website like this person right now has, that's okay. You can do what's called a subdomain. And basically what it would do is it would be trips.travelistas.travel.com. And again, it's free to do. Now, how this works though, is basically you purchase your domain from, a domain provider, a hosted domain provider. And then you come into your account. It's a lot. Again, it's been a week,
mouthful.
man.
It's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful, yeah. But what's really great though is it's actually pretty easy to set up, but we totally also understand that you're not probably always in a DNS settings doing domain stuff. So our team can help. We do have training times available that our support team can hop on a Zoom session with you, screen share, and point you to what you need to do. But highly recommend doing that because it's going to, it makes it easy for you to share this stuff too, because you could literally say like this link right here is travelistas.travel.com/Yellowstone. You could tell them word of mouth that's where they go. And it's pretty easy to remember. So you can customize that, what's called a slug, which is that Yellowstone part in there. So it's really great. But then also on top of that, it's also going to customize your forms that you send. So it'll be the domain will mask there, and then also itineraries. So it's really awesome. Highly recommend.
Awesome. So another question here that we can tag team together. Are there any suggestions? This is from Bridget. Are there any suggestions for services to use with formatting and putting together newsletter content? Now, the great thing here is the technology has come light years in the last 10 years. So like I am someone that knows how to like actually code marketing emails to make them look really great. Not everyone knows how to do that. I didn't know how to do that really well before Travefy. But what's great is that most email platforms like a MailChimp, a Constant Contact, many, many others have builders built in. They're very simple, very easy to use, that you can drag and drop photos, change colors, add in text, and you can see exactly what's going on with it so that you don't have to do anything complicated. Now, having said that, you can go out and find independent contractors that are great marketers, and they could put together an amazing marketing email. But I wouldn't overlook the tools that are at your fingertips already and very accessible. And those are those do-it-yourself builders in there. Now, having said that, don't underestimate the power of just putting together a well thought through email and sending that out to your entire list, plain text. There's a local travel agency, I won't say the name here. It's actually in Nebraska, in the Lincoln, Omaha area, that the owner puts together a weekly or biweekly email. It's plain text. I'll admit, it's ugly as dirt, but it's great. It's great content, great information, offers all of his expertise, and it's plain text email. There's nothing fancy about it. And he sends it out like clockwork, and his clients love it because it's just great information. So don't underestimate that either.
Mm-hmm. Actually, funny you say that, because I know that my mom has booked a trip before, and it was same thing. I was like, oh my gosh, that worked. It's so cool. And it was so simple, so easy. It's really cool. Yeah, great thing. I was gonna say too, like all like the main email providers, they make it pretty easy now. And it's similar to our landing page builder. Where it's like drag and drop, and then you can just stick with that. We've talked about that before in past webinars, where if you do create those email newsletters, just always have the same formula, because it's gonna make it really quick for you to put it together. So you'll have like, here's a quick update from you, and then there's always like you're promoting a destination or a place, a resort, whatever it might be, and then it's easy to just plug, copy and paste things in. And so it might take just a little bit just to figure out what formula you want to go with, but then once you have it, it's really easy. So
yeah.
Love
and
that.
then some more questions around domain masking. So I know this is not a Travefy webinar, but because there are multiple people asking this, I want to solve this confusion. So many questions around, hey, my domain is already with like my host agency website or an existing website. You're already using your domain. That's okay. What it's called is you will be creating a CNAME record in the DNS. Now, if you're with a host agency, you'll have to get in touch with them to have them update that. But that CNAME record creates a subdomain. So instead of trying to repoint your entire domain to a new fixed address and moving your website, that's not what we're talking about. Is that you'll actually be creating a new subdomain, and the subdomain will look like trips.scottsdomain.com. And so that's what we're talking about. So you can absolutely use your existing website domain and just set up a subdomain or a CNAME record for that. So then you can create landing pages and leave your existing website as it is, and it won't touch it, it won't affect it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's actually, it's pretty, it's pretty quick. It gets set up pretty quickly. But again, reach out to our team too. If you just have any questions, like even if you just share a screenshot of what you see on your end, we can kind of point you in the right directions and stuff, all that good stuff. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, and
Sorry.
I saw you can answer this. My lovely, lovely friend from Canada, Jennifer McPherson. So big shout out to Jennifer. She's awesome. She's crazy awesome travel advisor. She's asking, will Travefy offer some staff members to do all of this work of setting up landing pages for a fee? If we just don't have the time or the expertise, it's not possible for us to do it. We've actually been seeing some people in our Facebook group that specialize in this, that are really, really good at it. Stephanie, you've come across some of those people?
I definitely have. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what I would say is Travefy's staff, we can do one-on-one training sessions, but those are typically confined to 20 or 30-minute training sessions. So we can help you get a lot done in that period of time and answer a lot of questions, but we won't have the ability to actually set up and do all the work for you. So having said that, what I would recommend, go on our Facebook group, ask around. Hey, is anyone really good with Travefy's website builder? I'd love to work with you or collaborate with you. Now, having said that, use your discretion. We vet everyone that we can to come into the Facebook group as best we can, but still use your discretion on that of who you work with. Make sure that you can know and trust who you're working with that way. So that's what I would say, but that's a great question. And I know for a lot of successful travel advisors, like you, Jennifer, literally time is the constraint of being able to have time to set that up.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's a really good point, Scott, is definitely go to that Facebook group, that community. It's really great. People can help out. It's really, really awesome. And one last thing that I want to say here, because Anita said, while listening to this webinar, I have added a trip from Travefy to my social media link. So easy. Yes.
Awesome.
So cool. See, this stuff is quick to implement. Some things, take a little more time, but some of these are so fast and simple. It's amazing. But again, I'm going to put all this. So if you go to academy.travefy.com, just give me like 10 minutes, maybe not even that. I'll go as quick as possible. And I'll put all these links that I shared, this free download worksheet in there. And then the recording, it might just take about an hour or so for that to get up, just so it can render and zoom all the powerful things, that we had to say. So we'll get that up as quick as we can, but also keep in mind, email our team at professional@travefy.com if there's any questions that you didn't get answered or Travefy specific related. Let us know how we can help. And if you're not using Travefy, you can go to travefy.com just to start a free trial, and you can actually start building landing pages today. So check those out. So that's all I got, right on the dot, right at the end of 60 minutes.
Well done, Skeezy.
I love it. Yay.
So,
this is awesome.
You never have to ask me and Stephanie too much to just talk about marketing for an hour straight and answer questions. No, it's a lot of fun for us. So we really appreciate you guys showing up, being a part of the webinar. Appreciate your feedback and participating in it. It gives us joy helping you and give you ideas. Genuinely, we get a kick out of doing this with you guys. So if there's anything that we can help with, please do. But also jump over to the Facebook group, keep the conversation going, ask questions, ask for samples from other people of what they do with their landing pages and other marketing tactics and things like that. But this has been a lot of fun. So thank you, Stephanie, for making this happen.
Yes, thank you for all of your little tidbits of expertise and stories and all that good stuff. And like Scott mentioned, I just want to say it one more time that you definitely go to the Facebook group and share things, and share what you're working on and what you're doing and things that you found help you, because it's really cool to hear that. I mean, I've seen in the chat here some pretty cool stuff that people are doing, so we'd love to hear that kind of stuff. So thank you so much again, everybody, and we will see you again very soon. And any questions you have or help you need, just reach out. We are just an email away.
Cool. So, see you, everyone.
Thanks. See ya.